Hello, I'm Lindsay. Today we're going to be talking about torture and a brief overview of social issues. I'm super excited for this. It's also midnight and I'm tired. But let's get into this, starting with an article that we were given to read, uh, giving us a brief overview of social issues. Um, the main premise it talked about um, findings of a social experiment where they were analyzing families in a certain area, um, like looking at their overall health as well as their social and welfare problems. The study was conducted in Pittsburgh, early 1950s, and again, they were looking at how social status, wealth, and welfare kind of coincide and connect. Their results, they were looking at four different categories: race slash color, size of family, age of the head of the household, and marital status, um, as well as occupation and education level of the head of the house. It was very clear that there was that people who experienced social problems or like went to welfare had some kind of health problem. So there very clear correlation between the two. That may be me jumping to a conclusion, um, but I all of the charts that we saw, it was very clear that the more that the more people in the house, the less money they had, the more likely they were going to go to welfare, and the more likely they were to get sick. So yeah. So what it is. Basically, lamest terms, you hurt someone else for a reason, whether that be to get information out of them, to punish them for something that they did to you, or to punish somebody else to get to somebody else to get their information or whatever information they have that you want, um, to get them to do something for you and to manipulate them, or just because you want to be mean. Don't do that. Please don't do that. And how is this really a social issue? How is this a social issue? It destroys. It has the capability to destroy someone's mental and physical well-being. Um, it is not fun for the person that is getting beaten or is like verbally assaulted or um, hurt. So yeah, which is again, don't do it. Just don't do it. But moving on to how it affects our body, um, it hurts a number of the systems that help our body function. Um, some that I didn't include are the I can never remember the actual name, but our skin system, especially if it's physical abuse and you're cut open, then this protective layer that we have to keep germs out, germs get in and then get infected and we get sick or we have to lose body parts because they're infected and then there's no turning back. Um, but the ones that I did mention, the skeletal system, that's pretty obvious. Um, somebody could like if you're being physically abused, they could break your arm or something, and if it's left untreated for a long time, then it gets infected. Well, may not get infected, but it's not going to heal right, and that's not fun. Um, and then the cardiovascular system. Um, this one, there are many other effects. I'm looking mainly at sleep deprivation because that is a form of torture. It causes hypertension, which is not good because hypertension leads to um, heart problems. And if memory serves me correctly, it could lead to a heart attack, and heart attacks lead to death if they're serious enough and not caught. Fair warning. This is why we need sleep. Sleep is important. Um, looking at it from a scriptural point of view, um, I mean, we're told to love one another. First of all, which again, but some people who experienced torture in their lifetimes, Stephen was the first person who came to mind. He's considered the first martyr, the first Christian martyr, and the passage that we see him stoned to death is in Acts 7 verses 54 through 60, where he says, "Father, forgive them," or like not word for word, but forgive them for they know not what they do. That is a different quote from a different passage. But he's basically saying that and is saying, forgive these people that are stoning me. And then he's stoned to death. And then we can't overlook Jesus in the crucifixion in John 19, where over the course of a few days, he is beaten, flogged, taunted, and killed and crucified on the cross. Heavy, heavy stuff. Not fun. And the chapter goes into a lot more detail than that, but yeah, not fun. On that heavy, heavy note, what does this have to do with me? I am a murder mystery writer, so naturally I'm using this for research. I've also started dabbling in a little bit of light fantasy, um, as well as an assassin novel, which I mentioned here. I'm not using it in the assassin novel. I'm definitely using it in the fantasy one because that, with now that I'm thinking about how my antagonist minds work, um, definitely emotional. Um, they're definitely emotionally abusive. Um, so yeah, it's definitely undercover, but a lot of this stuff still applies. So that is all I have for you today. If you would like to look at my reference, aside from the provided article that I mentioned at the beginning, I recommend checking that out. And that's all I have. Again, don't torture people. That's my only PSA here. So cool. I don't know how to stop this. Please